Now for this tutorial, we will be finding the value of the given term in the Fibonacci sequence. If you don't have the Python editor, please check the link below for the download page. I'm assuming you guys know what the Fibonacci sequence is, but just in case, here is the quick oversimplification of what it is. The Fibonacci sequence is basically a set of numbers that has the value of the sum of its past two terms. Let's say you were asked what is the value of the 8th term in the Fibonacci sequence. So how do we write a code that would take the starting value and loop the process of addition to get the value of the term the user is asking? We will need to use looping for this question. Now, what is looping? Looping is basically a code that will run itself multiple times until it fulfills a condition in the code or the code breaks. Let's see our code for the Fibonacci sequence. I'm using this Python visualizer to better explain how the code will run and what it's doing. First, we must ask our user which term he is looking for. For that, we will declare a variable. Let's call it term. Make sure that the user inputs an integer. Input with a message. Which term are you looking for? Now I'm just going to paste the code that I've refined and explain to you how Python counts and what iterative looping is. As you can see, term 1 has the value of 1 and term 2 also has the value of 1. That is because in Fibonacci, the first two terms has the value of 1. So we will input that in Python. This count variable here is basically just a way for me to post how many times the code has run in normal counting terms. So basically 4 times run in the range that the user specified, run the lines of code here. Now let's run this Python visualizer. As you can see, the first line of code has ran and is now asking us which term are you looking for. I'm gonna give it 8. Submit. Now it passed the value of 8 into the term variable. So now term has a value of 8. And it's now looking to run the second line of code. Let's proceed with the code. And now term 1 has the value of 1. And term 2 has the value of 1 as well. It also ran the count and it has a value of 0. So now when I proceed with the code, it's gonna make a new variable with a value of 0, since this is the first time Python has seen the loop statement and it's gonna proceed times run with a value of 0. So now count add value of 1. Remember, count had a value of 0. Once this code has been executed, it will add 1 point or 1 integer into the counter or value. As you see, it's now 1. Last sum is equals to term 1. It's gonna make a new variable with a value the same as term 1. So term 1 is 1. It's gonna make a new variable with a value of 1. And then term 1 is equals to term 2. Term 1 is equals to term 2. So it's just the same. It's not saying that we're gonna add, subtract. It's just saying that term 2 has the same value as term 1. It's gonna say that term 1 has the same value as term 2. So nothing changed. Now term 2 is equals to last sum plus term 1. So last sum is 1, term 1 is 1. And since there's a add or addition operator, it's gonna add the value of term 1 and last sum. So term 2 is now 2. It now has a value of 2. And the last code or the last run of code oh no, the last line of code is print Python count. Python count is a string, remember, single quotation mark, it's a string. It's gonna print a string, comma, times run. What is times run? 0. And then string, I don't know what this sign is, I'll just, that sign with the string term and the count, the value of count, which is 1, and then this sign again, last sum, which has the value of 1. So when I forward this, it's gonna print this statement, the same with this line of code. Once this line has been executed, the for loop statements wraps or goes back to the for loop. As you've noticed, the arrow goes back to the for loop and it checks the times run to see if it's equal to the term that the user has given. Since the user is asking for 8 terms, it's gonna say no, it's not equal, or it's not the same range as 8. So it's gonna run the codes below again, repeating the cycle until the times run is the same as the value of the term that the user has given. So it's gonna do this multiple times. It's gonna do that multiple times. Okay, we're gonna stop here at step 30. Again, it's count plus the value of 1. So count is 4. When we proceed this, it added another value, a 1 value to the counter. So that's 4. Last sum is equals to term 1. Last sum currently has the value of 3. And term 1 has the value of 5. So when we proceed, last sum became 5, the same value as term 1. Now, term 1 is equals to term 2. What is term 2? Term 2 is 8. So when we proceed, term 1 becomes 8. Now, again, term 2 is last sum plus term 1. Last sum is 5, term 1 is 8, so 8 plus 5 equals 13. And then it's gonna go to this next line of code, it's gonna wait for me to proceed, and then it's gonna print. It's gonna print the string Python count times run is 4, string here, count is 5, it posted 5, last sum is 5, it posted 5. We're gonna proceed again here up to the final. Okay, let's see. Yep, okay, times run is 6. No, you can still do better. Okay, times run. Okay, I stopped at step 46. Times run is now 6, and we are on the last line of the 6th rotation, or 6th times the code has been repeated. So when I proceed here, it posted all the necessary requirements here, or values and variables and strings. It posted everything, and it now went back again to check how many times the code has been run, and it sees that it's still not enough, so it will still proceed to the next step. So it's gonna do here. Okay, now the print statement, when I click this, it checks again. Now that it sees that times run has, or the code has been run 8 times already, so now it fulfilled the user's term, or the value of the term that the user has given. So it will now end the code, because it sees that the code has been repeated 8 times as per the user's given value. So it would just end the code, since usually after the for statement, usually you would put ending statement or another code below the for loop to proceed with code. But since this is just a simple software or program to give the term of a Fibonacci sequence, the value of the term of a Fibonacci sequence, we didn't have to put anything after the for loop. So now that you can visually see how code is run in a looping or in a for loop statement, let's see how the code actually runs if you just write the code or make the code in the editor. So, same question, which term are you looking for? 8. And it gave us exactly the same values as our code over here. Python count 7. Yep, since remember, Python counts from 0, not 1. It starts counting from 0. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's how Python counts. And we normally count starting in 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is the term here. Term 1, term 2, term 3. And it is giving the value of that Fibonacci term. Hopefully this explains how to do Fibonacci code in Python. And goodbye, and thank you for watching.